The NYPD's Deputy Commissioner for Intelligence and Counterterrorism is now reflecting on a conversation he had a few years before the September 11th, 2001 terror attacks with Osama bin Laden. And he spoke with Eyewitness News reporter Jim Dolan.
So what you're looking at is one of the byproducts of the post-9/11 world.
John Miller is the NYPD's Deputy Commissioner for Intelligence and Counterterrorism now, but in 1998, he was a reporter for ABC News, and he did an interview that would presage a generation of terror.
Bin Laden comes across the field, and we step like 3 steps down into this hut that's kind of dug into the ground. Inside it looks like a cave because the walls are uneven.
Miller interviewed al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden in Pakistan 3 years before the World Trade Center bombings. Not many outside the counterterrorism world even knew who bin Laden was back then, but he was suspected in the U.S. Embassy attacks in Tanzania and soon the attacks on the USS Cole in Yemen. Miller spent 10 days traveling with al-Qaeda operatives in Pakistan and Afghanistan before one night bin Laden finally showed up.
He sat down on this kind of bench covered in red fabric and put a blanket kind of over his knee. It was like sitting at story time with an old uncle.
But there was a problem, a big problem. Bin Laden's handlers wouldn't allow anyone to translate the Sheikh's answers. Miller didn't know what bin Laden was saying. And the al-Qaeda leader's monotonal, measured delivery was deceivingly calm. Miller had no way of knowing just how fiery it was.
And at the end, I went back to the Arabic-speaking Iraqi fixer who had come with us on the trip. And I said, did he answer any of the questions? And he said, we need to get the tapes, and we need to get out. He declared war on America.
And he vowed 3 years before 9/11 that he would kill American civilians.
We do not differentiate between those dressed in military uniforms and civilians. They are all targets. We predict a black day for America and the end of the United States. They will retreat from our land and collect the bodies of their sons back to America, if Allah wills.
He said things that were a preview to history that had not yet occurred.
And he said all these things with some confidence. An early version of the 9/11 plot was already in the planning stages when Miller interviewed bin Laden. He didn't tell Miller about that, but he did promise attacks against America.
On May 28th, 1998, that sounded like a lot of tall talk from a guy in a cave with a couple thousand people. On September 12th, 2001, it made a lot more sense.
Jim Dolan, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.